Hey guys, we're live. Alright, so I gotta start some canvas this morning, so I thought I'd share a little bit of videos with you guys. So, first I want to show you some differences in things. Alright, there's one of these. Okay, so this is a regular canvas stretcher bar that comes on an economy canvas. I want you to see how thick it is, how wide it is. This is a canvas stretcher bar set that I bought myself. And you can see how much difference there is in they're the same height, but see how much wider this is. And if you look on the ends, you can see how much thicker it is as well. So these are pretty good. My favorite ones to use are Frederick's. They're a little bit more expensive on a per board basis. Hey Dorothy, but not really. They're worth it. One of the reasons is if you look on the economy canvas, you can see this little ridge right here. It's not very high. And if you look on this one, which is another purchased set of canvas stretcher board, it comes on one side, but it doesn't come on the other side. Whereas on Frederick's, I got a bunch of canvases to stretch here, and we'll do that in a second. On Frederick's, you can see that they've got nice big groove on both sides. So that makes for a nice, good stretch. So I'm going to put together some 12x16s. So to do that, when you purchase them, you need to buy 2 of each side. So I got 2 16s and 2 12s. So let's put these together real quick. Let me move this a little bit better where you can maybe see. Alright, so no real reason to have to match these up any particular way, but I usually try to keep the label side up all on the same side. And then I usually tend to put the short ends on first. And the way they go, you can see they're cut. You got the board sticking out here, and then you got these grooves cut in. And this side is cut, but it's not. It's made for the board to slide by, where it slides into the groove on the other board. So, the other good thing about the Frederick's stretcher bars is they fit really cleanly together. I'm sure they probably run these out on an assembly line, but they have good quality control. Alright. Now, later, if you stretch the canvas and you decide that for whatever reason you did not get it tight enough, you can also get these keys. I'll show you one. This is not open, but I'll open one. Oh, and these frames actually come in heavy duty and light duty. These are light duties. Usually heavy duties are used on larger pieces of canvas. So you got these little keys that go with them. Hey Diane! And these keys actually fit into these slots right here. And they're, can you see? I don't know if you can see. Let me turn it where you can see. See, they're not aligned, which is exactly how they should be. So, because these keys are not made for this particular frame, but these keys, well, maybe they are. These keys slide in these holes, and you just hammer them in, and you can stretch the stretcher bars back out, make the canvas nice and tight. Alright, so I like to stretch my own canvas. For if you watch me much, you know I like to control the creative process, so but when I select my own canvas, I can pick more tooth. So now you can buy canvas at the art store. It's pretty expensive. I just buy canvas at the hardware store. Works out just as well. So this is just a regular piece of like a painter's canvas. And actually, I'm going to need to go to the store and buy some more. Alright, so I got too many canvases to stretch and not have any more canvases. So I'm just going to lay this out here. Just kind of get a rough measurement on it. Don't want to waste any of it. If you have any questions, just spit them out. Alright, so that looks pretty good. this stretched out here. That looks pretty good. I'm just making sure I have enough overlap. If you ever get a painting from me, you'll know that it's on my own canvas when it's got this heavy canvas in it, and it overlaps more than you see on commercial canvases. All right. Now, tools of choice for stretching. That's important. I've had mine for about a year now, but I really like them. One is a really nice set of pinking shears. You see they got the serrated edges on them. The reason that these are really good is to keep your canvas from unraveling on the edges after you cut them. So let's cut this one. Let me see about where I want to cut this. Might be out of your eyesight for a second because I got to get over here on this side. But I'll come wandering back in there in a second. These pinker shears that I have are really sharp. My wife bought me these last Christmas. They are so nice versus regular scissors. Like I say, they keep your canvases from unraveling too much. Alright, second tool for this trade, you might want to use a square. I do a pretty good job of squaring mine up simply because of the way the frames fit, but and since I've stretched so many. Second is a pair of canvas stretchers. I use these steel ones. I got these for Christmas too, last Christmas. This just helps you grip it. And then one more tool you'll need is a stapler. Now, it doesn't have to be an electric stapler like mine. It can just be one of those regular swing line staple guns. You can get both of these at the hardware store. But I got this for Christmas all in the same year because I was stretching canvas by hand and it was tough. All right, let's just kind of get a quick measurement here again. Yeah. And let's slide this up just a little bit. Okay, let's see. Let's get to it here. So I'm going to start at the top. We'll put 3 staples in the top in the center. Now, I'll probably create more videos today, mostly around gessoing these canvases if they get dry, once I dry them. Just make sure you keep your canvas straight when you're doing this because you don't want to get it crooked. Alright, so that's got that side anchored in the middle. So now we're going to pull this up a little bit. These canvas stretcher pliers have actually got this little ridge on the bottom. This goes against the frame and it allows you to, hey Wendy, allows you to apply pressure and to stretch. Alright, now we're going to switch to the ends. So we've got the middle. We've got 3 staples here in the top, 3 staples here on the bottom. We're going to move to the ends now. Tell you what, let's start on this end. The reason I'm starting on this end, it just looks a little bit shorter. So I'm stretching that one with my fingers because there's nothing to pull against it. Now, I really recommend this Stanley gun though. It's got a safety on it so you can't staple your fingers. That's nice. I've never stapled my finger, but my son has stapled my finger once or twice with another stapling gun, my hammer stapler. Move this over and stretch it one more time before I put that third one in there. Alright. Now you notice the edges are still not tight, but it's tight in the middle. And as we move across, and you can see how it's like loose on the corners, but it's tight in the middle. So as we move around this, we're going to continue this around. It'll just continue to work its way out to toward the edge. So now we will use the stretching pliers all the way around. So we're going back to the middle, back to the front side. So these stretcher boards, they're not very expensive. They're, I don't know, $1 something a piece, I guess. Some of them are 60 cents, 69 cents. Depending, I mean, it just depends on where you shop, I guess. And where you live, maybe. I don't know if that's true. Right, so I got 3 more in there. So now we got 6 on this side, 6 on this side. We're going to go to the ends. You can't really see it, but it's starting to tighten right there on that side. You'll be able to see it shortly. Alright, let's go to the ends. Let's stretch this out. Put one more in here. On this side. There's nothing like a really nice tight canvas to paint on. They're so much fun to paint on, especially when I don't knock you over on your face. All right. There we go. Like I say, you know, there's nothing wrong with painting on economy canvases. I just like to control the creative process all the way through. Didn't quite get that state in. There we go. All right, so we're back to the sides again. Now we'll do the other side of the side. Let's go to this side first because it's the shortest. And to the other side. I'll show you the tightness in a minute, but then we'll talk about the corners. Don't let me forget to talk about the corners. The corners are probably the trickiest thing. If you ever saw me wrap a Christmas present, I think it was wrapped by a blind person who had never wrapped a present before in their life. All right, let's go to the other end and finish this border side, and then we can start working the corners. The corners are really kind of easy to do once you understand them. All right, now you can begin to see how tight this is. Got that nice little thump. And they'll get even tighter before all is said and done. Simply because we're going to get this canvas wet. When we do, it'll shrink a little bit. Alright, so let's look at this corner. Let's talk about this corner. This looks like a little too much extra material, but I think we can work with that, maybe. Pull it away. Yeah. Alright, so the trick to folding these corners is this. Can you guys see that okay? I hope so. Drop it tilted a little bit. You want to come in, and first you want to create this 45-degree angle. And then once you do, just pull it in. Once you pull the 45-degree angle, and then fold it straight down. It makes a nice, neat corner. Here we go. It was hesitating a little bit because the canvas wasn't even there. So for a 45-degree angle, I need to get a little bit more of that. 45-degree angle, hold that down square. I need to pull it a little bit more. Didn't quite get it the first time. There we go. All right. A nice lasting corner. Oh, I missed. There we go. All right. This corner. 45-degree fold. Fold it down. .45-degree angle and fold it down. Tell you what, let's cut a little bit of this. There's a little bit of excess right here. I'm just going to cut that off. Let's trim it real quick. Right. 45-degree angle. Pull it in tight. 45-degree angle down. Put one more in here. Where do I want it? I want it right there. All right, there it is. Nice and tight. All right, so like I say, I'll wet this now in the sink over here. Set it up to dry, and then it'll get, it'll shrink some, and then it'll be really, really super tight. Can't see. I'm too close to the camera. I can't get any farther away. I can't help that one. Most things I can't help, but I'm not sitting on a tripod today up here in the kitchen, so. All right, let me see if I got enough to do one more. We'll do it real. Maybe I'll move the camera around and see better. So it's a 12 by 16. That's mostly what I'm working today. 12 by 16s. All right. So this canvas stretcher is already assembled. If you missed that part in the beginning, you can go back and watch it. See how they put. They're really easy to put together. Let's see what we got left here. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe right. Is this gonna do it? I might get one more out of this. Let's try it. Let's see if we can. We'll just lay this up here and lay it out and see what we can do. We're in a kind of a crowded spot today, but it's okay. Oh yeah, I got room here. All right, so I'll move you guys. Maybe I'll move you over here. That's a little farther away. You let me know how that works out for you. All right, so let's see. Let's move this up a little bit. It's going to be. All right, I might have to cut one end or the other. All right, so I'm just going to cut this seam off the end of this canvas. So I don't really like to work with the seams too much. Come on, there we go. I'm just cutting the seam down here. Now you can buy canvas if you don't want to use a heavy grade canvas like this. You can buy canvas without quite so much tooth at the art store, about by the square yard. It's not cheap, but it's not really. Well, compared to this, it's pretty expensive. But compared to this kind of canvas, it's pretty expensive. And it's not as heavy, but it is smoother. So if you're doing, you can't really use this kind of canvas for doing portraits. It's not smooth enough. It's got too much tooth. Too much tooth for what you'll want to do. All right, let's cut the other side of this. We kind of eyeball it here. Hopefully that'll be enough. Down you go. All right. Got more material here than I need. All right, so I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to staple this first side, and then we will cut it off once it's stapled on this side. Oh, I got to have a staple stuck in there. What the deal? Oh, there we go. I think there might still be one stuck there. Let's see. I'm out of staples, so let me reload this real quick. I never run out of staples. I have lots of staples. I have thousands of staples. My shop is pretty well equipped. Alright, now let's try this. Here we go. Alright, so that's the first 3. Now let's cut the second side off to where we want it. Because as you can see, hang on a second, I'll show you. I'm going to clean these staples up. As you can see, if you fold this up, it's got too much cloth. Way too much cloth. So, I'm going to do with the scissors. So again, I'm using pinking shears. They're serrated, a set of serrated scissors. They keep your canvas from unraveling when you cut it. These are super sharp. They're titanium, so they're super sharp. Alright. That's pretty good. Alright. Let's put the stretchers on it. Can you see a little better that way? Because nobody said anything about that. Alright, let's go to the end. Put the next 3 in. This also is a little bit too much on that end. Let's just trim this off just a little bit. It doesn't really hurt to have any extra on there. It just doesn't look as neat when you're done. Alright. Put the stretcher on this. Yeah, that's going to work out really good. Alright. That was my fault. That was my fault, not the pliers' fault. Back to the side where we started. Let's see what. Let's go to the other side first. Let's use this in. So I usually tend to work on the shortest side first. If it's not even all the way around. Now, if you look at your, these are back stapled, not side stapled too. So I like that. It gives you the option of painting on the edges if you want. Alright. Let's go to this end. I'll just have to assume you guys can see because nobody's really saying anything. So. Back to the side. Move this. Get a little tighter stretch right there. I tend to put my staples a little closer together than you do in the store too, because I pull these really tight, so I want to make sure I got a good grip. I like my canvases super tight, so then when they shrink, they tend not to ever stretch and never get loose. Saw a painting a couple weeks ago in a secondary market. It was for sale, but it was so loose inside the stretcher bars, it actually distorted the painting. It was kind of sad. This is a really pretty painting. If it had been mine, I probably would have brought it home, but it wasn't, so alright. Probably brought it home and fixed it. Let's go ahead and finish this side out. The stretcher pliers that I'm using are also Frederick. Pretty impressed with their stuff so far. stretch into this corner a little bit more. I've already done this side, but I'm going to stretch this corner a little bit more. All right. It brings us to the corners. So let's do that. So, same deal. Going to fold at 45 degrees. Fold at 45 degrees. And fold it over. Fold at 45 degrees and fold it over. One more time with feeling. And one thing to pay attention to is make sure that you have all the corners folding in the same direction. It's pretty easy to think when you're working on trying to get the staples in there, sometimes to forget that. It's not a big deal. Can't see it when it's hanging against the wall, but just something. That's what you're looking for. Alright guys, that's all I got material for, so I have to go run down to the store and get some more. I'll see you guys when we get around to gessoing these things.